Hello there.
We know quite a bit of things that we didn't know at the time that Robert Downey Jr. was announced to be coming back as Doctor Doom, but things are getting pretty wild. And we have some official first details on when he will first appear, whether or not he's a Tony Stark variant or a Doctor Doom variant, and exactly how he will tie in with Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four. We're going to get into it all in this video. If you guys enjoy my Marvel content and you're new to my channel, consider subscribing or check out my channel. I have a bunch of videos just like this one, and let's get into it.
The Atomic Fair.
Okay, when it was announced that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be playing Doctor Doom, there was a whole bunch of confusion that swirled around on the internet, and it's still swirling around, but we have had some leaks come out that have kind of given us some insight into what this version of Doctor Doom is going to be for the MCU. One of the first leaks that we had that came out after the big San Diego Comic-Con event was Cryptic HD Quality taking to Twitter, or X I guess, to say that Tony Stark and Doctor Doom, or I guess, will end up meeting in the MCU. This is something that we already kind of knew. I think Avengers Doomsday is going to be setting up a super evil version of Doctor Doom who is some alternate version of Tony Stark. And then Secret Wars is going to be them going through the multiverse to find the right version of Tony Stark to help stop Doctor Doom. I can kind of assume that's what's going to happen. Obviously, there's a whole ton of details in there that are being left out, but that is going to be the gist of what these next two Avengers movies are, which is kind of just ironic because it really just proves that Marvel knows that they fucked up big time by letting Robert Downey Jr. go as Iron Man at the end of Avengers Endgame. But what we know about this version of Doctor Doom is that he was going to be popping up in multiple projects leading up to Avengers Doomsday. Now, this is something that kind of makes sense. You can kind of see why they would be having his character pop up in not just one or two projects, but maybe three or more projects leading up to Avengers Doomsday, because they kind of have to make up for lost time now, after ushering Kang out of the MCU and now bringing in an entirely new villain. I think it's kind of a wild reaction to have. I think it's very much a knee-jerky reaction. I think Disney got a little panicky there, and I think there was a really good way to recover Kang's character without completely getting rid of him, but nonetheless, this is the direction that we are taking with the MCU, and I just think that it's a good and also just a crazy time to be a Marvel fan. So we know that this version of Doctor Doom is going to be popping up in multiple projects leading up to Avengers Doomsday over the next year and a half or so, and that is going to include Fantastic Four First Steps, where we are going to see Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom pop up, most likely in a post-credit scene. This is what we are hearing all over the interwebs right now. This is what the most reliable leaks are telling us, is that this version of Doctor Doom will pop up first in Fantastic Four First Steps as an after the credit scene. Now, one of the main first details that we know about this version of Tony Stark is that he is going to be an alternate version of Tony Stark. This is coming from Jeff Snyder, the guy who first broke the Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom leak, but he's going to be playing an alternate version of Tony Stark who ends up becoming Doctor Doom and becoming evil. I'm guessing it's kind of the suit of armor around the world thing that many people have been theorizing online. That line from Avengers 2 is probably going to be expanded on and end up turning into an evil dictator kind of Doctor Doom. But this is what I find most interesting. It says the variant of Doctor Doom that Robert Downey Jr. portrays will come from the same universe as the Fantastic Four. Now, filming for this movie begins March of 2025, but I have to kind of guess that maybe this version of the Fantastic Four comes into the modern day, comes into the main Marvel universe, and similar to Thanos at the end of Endgame, where he kind of followed Nebula through that portal, I think also Doctor Doom could probably potentially follow the Fantastic Four through whatever portal they take into the mainline Marvel universe. That is how we see this version of Doctor Doom come into the MCU. But what's going to be interesting is whether or not this is going to be a plot point in Fantastic Four. So does this version of Reed Richards already know about this version of Tony Stark who becomes an evil Doctor Doom? Is he actually going to be named Victor Von Doom, or is he going to be named Tony Stark who takes on the moniker of Doom? There are still so many questions to be answered here, and I'm sure, and I know for a fact actually, as we move closer to this movie, we are going to hear more and more tidbits about this film come out. We're going to hear a ton more details details about this version of Doctor Doom. I'm assuming within 6 months we will have a very clear answer on whether this is Victor Von Doom or an alternate version of Tony Stark, and I'm guessing by this time next year we will already have concept art and maybe some sizzle reels of Avengers Doomsday, which is just crazy to think because I guess I'm getting older, but it really feels like Avengers Endgame just came out in theaters a few years ago, which it technically did, but as you get older, 5 years is not as long as it used to be. So time is going by much quicker now, and it seems like tomorrow we're going to be sitting in theaters watching Avengers Doomsday. So comment down below, let me know what you guys think about these recent scoops. This is the most up-to-date information that we have on Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. As soon as any more information comes out, I will be right here on this channel talking about it with as much enthusiasm as I can. So comment down below, let me know all your guys' thoughts, and for this video, that's all I got, guys. So until the next one, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.